Today on Focus on Sports, does Fresno State baseball have another game in the win column? How the Diamond Dogs fared against Nevada over the weekend.
Plus, the Fresno State softball team knows their first matchup for the postseason tournament, how they're preparing for the single elimination.
And we take a look at a team inducted into the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame, how Fresno remembers this underdog team. Focus on Sports starts now. Final sportscast of the semester. I'm Bianca Gonzalez.
And I'm McKenna Deeth.
We have a great show for you as we start things off with Fresno State baseball. Fresno State is going back to the drawing boards after being swept over the weekend in Reno. Check out this ground ball down the left field line from Murph Gray. That drives in one. Diamond Dogs trailing by one, but not until this two-run tripper from Bobby Barrels. Cam Schneider drives this one to right field and drives one in. In the ninth, Griffin Sotomayor has this solo shot to right field. How about another home run, but this from Murph Gray in the same inning? Nevada comes back to score 4 runs in the ninth. The Pack walks it off in extra innings, 9-8. Now, McKenna, despite that tough loss, what went well for the Dogs over the weekend?
I mean, it is hard to look past a big sweep like that, but I think the bats were flying. Their offense was still really good, so that's some good momentum they could bring into the last 5 home games here in Fresno. So I think they have a lot to look forward to. That was a tough series, but they're keeping their heads up high.
You know what, you're right, and I don't think that this series is something to necessarily freak out about because even though they lost and it was a sweep, they were still hitting and pitching still looked pretty solid, and that right there is the Dogs' ticket to getting far this season.
Yes, I agree. Well, the regular season is over for the Fresno State softball team heading to the postseason. The Bulldogs are the number 3 seed in the Mountain West Conference tournament and will face rivals San Jose State. The Bulldogs finished the regular season 34-18 overall. First pitch is scheduled for 6 this Wednesday night in San Diego. And if the Dogs win, they will face the host team of the tournament, the San Diego State Aztecs.
It is the postseason for Fresno City College baseball team. The Rams are the number 3 seed in the 3 CAA NorCal Regional. Fresno City hosted the Lobos of the Monterey Peninsula College over the weekend. The Rams took Game 1 4-3. FCC took Game 2 10-2. The Rams move on to the Super Regional, which will begin next week.
The 2025 Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame class is now introduced. Brian Welch highlights a team that is already there in the Hall of Fame.
2008 is a year that the Fresno State baseball team will never forget. That was the year the Diamond Dogs became underdogs to wonder dogs and won the College World Series. One of the players that was a part of that team, pitcher Holden Sprague, says that nobody knew how special that team was in 08.
I think that every single day was a cherry on top to the whole thing. And there's no way that we thought we were going to win the national championship at any point in the season until literally the day of the national championship.
The Wonder Dogs are enshrined in the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame. This exhibit is at the Save Mart Center. The executive director of the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame, Dan Taylor, says that every class is unique.
Yeah, there's some amazing talent in that very first class, and I think it shows the greatness of Fresno and Fresno County.
The Wonder Dogs are not the only Diamond Dogs selected in the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame, as historic baseball coach Bob Bennett has his jersey on display at the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame exhibit here at the Save Mart Center. The voice of the Bulldogs, Paul Leffler, says that the Hall of Fame means more to the community.
I mean, these are people that are in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, all these other really heady groups that the Valley, you could put, you know, the Fresno area toe-to-toe with anywhere in the country, and you're not going to find better people, better competitors, better role models than what we can point to right here in the community.
Sprague says seeing the famous photo of the famous dog pile brings him back.
It was really cool to sit there and say, yeah, I was a part of that. And I was a part of that everybody knew about. It wasn't like we were getting inducted because we were an athlete in a more obscure sport that didn't get a lot of attention at the time. I mean, it was like reliving the memory all over again at the dinner, and that was really neat too.
The Wonder Dogs will never be forgotten, especially at the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame. In Fresno, Brian Welch, Fresno State Focus.
The 2025 class of the Fresno County Athletic Hall of Fame dinner will be in the fall. There have been a lot of changes within Fresno State athletics this year, as we know.
So here to discuss the future of Bulldog sports are two of our very own reporters and collegiate editors, Valentina Saldana and Alexis Bruno.
Thank you, Bianca. Yes, there is always new changes in the Fresno State Athletics Department. Val, we won't be here next semester, but what do you think is in store for the future of Fresno State Athletics?
I mean, Fresno State Athletics could go either way. There's been a lot of new hires this past semester, especially within the Fresno State football team with Matt Entz, the Fresno State women's basketball team, new coach bringing on his new staff, and the men's basketball coach, Wahlberg. I mean, he had this season to prove himself. Did okay for some people, not the best for others. You wrote a story about the wages of the coaches, so can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, on our newest paw print, I do have a story in there. I did a public information's request, and I requested all the contracts of the Fresno State men's basketball head coaches. Now, some are making a lot more than others. Vance Wahlberg, head coach, mind you, he won 3 conference games last season. He's getting a $13,000 increase next season. Now that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then assistant coach, $270,000. And in California, the average for his position is only $14,000. So it's a big pay. They're getting the money over there. What do you think this means for the future?
I mean, money is what makes the world go around, right? Fresno State Athletics is facing budget cuts through the California budget cuts. I mean, we've seen Sonoma State get their whole athletic department be cut. So it is something that they have to look at and take seriously, especially moving into the Pac-12, deciding whether Wahlberg wants to go into the Pac-12 or not. His contract will expire at the end of next season. And just consider all kind of avenues for where this money is going to go, especially with the budget cuts, because you have to think about that type of stuff.
It is going to look a lot different, maybe even different sports being cut, and that might be the future.
Yeah, well, only time will tell. Like we said, we won't be here, but make sure you pick up our paw print
We tried
edition.
really hard on it.
Stayed up till 4 a.m. to make this happen, so pick it up around campus. But one last time for the Collegiate and Fresno State Focus, I'm Valentina Saldana.
I'm Alexis Bruno.
Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, ladies. Coming up, there's one California team still standing in the NBA playoffs. We'll see what's so special about this team.
Plus, there's a new leader in the NL West. We'll recap the weekend series that put one team ahead.
I got the Bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that Bulldog spirit up in my head. Up in my head to say. Deep in my heart. Got that Bulldog spirit deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that Bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that Bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. I got that Bulldog spirit.
The first round of NBA playoffs has officially come to a close as of Sunday night. The Warriors beat the Rockets last night in Houston to win the series 4-1. Buddy Hield was more like Buddy Buckets last night with a playoff high of 33 points. And the Clippers are packing for vacation, though, after their Game 7 loss on Saturday against the Denver Nuggets. And Denver is advancing to face the Thunder in the next round. And the Lakers packed their bags the earliest, losing their series on Wednesday against the Timberwolves. The Warriors move on to the Western Conference semifinals Tuesday night to face the Minnesota Timberwolves.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are sitting at the top of the National League West. The Dodgers, Padres, and Giants have been competing for the early lead. The Dodgers dethroned the Giants after a series win against the Atlanta Braves. The Braves managed to avoid a sweep after taking a 4-3 win last night. The Padres sit just half a game below the Dodgers. They secured a 2-1 victory at the Pittsburgh Pirates and keep their winning streak alive to 5 games in a row. The Giants aren't too far behind. They are just a game and a half back after taking a 6-3 win over the Colorado Rockies. McKenna, what are your thoughts on this early battle for the NL West?
I mean, it's crazy. We just were talking about the NBA. I think the MLB and the NBA are starting to be really similar with these tight races. I mean, you have the Giants who not a lot of people expected them to be so high up in the standings. Everyone picks the Dodgers. But the only thing that's keeping them back is their offense. Their pitching is great. Their defense is great. If they can swing the bats a little bit better, they're going to give the Dodgers a run for their money.
I agree with that. You know, both the Padres and Giants are making it very uncomfortable for the Dodgers to compete. But this has been fun to watch.
And in an overwhelming victory, Sovereignty is the 2025 Kentucky Derby champion. It was wet and sloppy conditions at Churchill Downs at the 151st Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Sovereignty overtook race favorite Journalism in a thrilling fight to the finish to capture the first leg of racing's coveted Triple Crown. The next leg of the Triple Crown is the Preakness Stakes on May 17th. This year's Kentucky Derby was the first time all of the horses competing were from the bloodline of famed horse Secretariat.
Baseball is a sport that has touched many lives, whether it be from the game itself, the history and rivalries, or the ballpark atmosphere. For one couple, baseball is a way of life. We've all heard of people doing van life for the national parks around the country, but what about doing van life for all the major league and minor league stadiums like Chris and Dee Burek? The couple is from New Jersey and they've been traveling since 2019 for the sole purpose of loving baseball and wanting to see the country.
We've been up the West Coast from San Diego to Vancouver and on the East Coast from Miami to Boston.
A couple of years ago, Chris Burek had a stroke and now he isn't able to walk. His wife Dee Burek says that minor league baseball is still something he can enjoy.
We have seen almost every state in our travels, and it's great for my husband because he had a stroke and he can't walk. So going to minor league baseball is a great experience for him because there's room for wheelchairs everywhere.
After Chris and Dee Burek are all done visiting new places, they go ahead and add a sticker onto the side window of their van. Here's Fresno Grizzlies, and I think it's time for them to add a new one. When visiting all these ballparks, the couple also has a goal to take a picture with every mascot, which is how the Kodiak Club hostess Sharon Mack met the couple after Dee Burek was looking for Parker Bear.
This is the part of my job that I really enjoy, meeting nice, genuine, real people that are real baseball fans, and it just makes me smile.
So far, Chris and Dee Burek have visited 96 minor league ballparks and 27 out of the 30 major league stadiums. As of now, the couple has plans to keep traveling for the rest of the season.
With this being our last focus on sports this semester, Brian Welch takes us in the time machine to look back at this past spring semester in sports.
Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus on Sports. I'm Bianca Gonzalez.
And I'm Ricardo Lozada.
What a semester we had on Focus on Sports. From covering a high school tennis team looking for a three-peat to a softball team starting up in Traver. Every story we have told has been fun. Hey, we even covered the equestrian unit at Fresno State. And we've also highlighted the people that make it happen in Red Wave Creative. Plus, we highlighted the unsung hero of the men's basketball team. And we have highlighted a high school baseball player as well. The stories have been endless. For everyone that has made this show possible this semester, we thank you, the viewer.
Well, what a way to close out this semester.
Absolutely, and I think it's time to give a shout out to our top dogs of the week. How about you, McKenna?
I want to really give track and field some love, so I'm going to say Jewel Ash. She had a big day for her senior day this past weekend while winning the 400-meter hurdles. How about you, Valentina?
My top dog of the week is for softball, Soraya Nees. They are currently done with the regular season, but last game she put on a show on the mound, and I mean, she always does. So, Alexis, what about you?
Jack Anchor has been killing it on the mound, but we can't forget it is the end of the semester. Brooke Ochoa, utilities player for the water polo team. They didn't make it to 5P, but she had a good season, and she is a senior.
Absolutely. And I am giving mine to Murph Gray. He has been hitting just so well in those three bomb nights. So, Murph Gray. And that is our show. Thank you all so much for tuning in all semester long.
Fresno State Focus on Sports will be back next semester with a new crew and some exciting things to come.
We hope you all have a great summer, and here's to graduation to all of the seniors.